Hello there, you're watching Lunchtime News on TV1. For the News First team, I'm Yuki Poshia. Let's start off with a look at headlines. President Maithripala Sirisena departs for China. Social media platforms including Facebook temporarily suspended again. Schools reopened for primary grades. Low attendance reported from several schools. Haul of weapons and ammunition discovered from Vallavaya. Trump economic advisor Larry Kudlow admits tariffs hurt Americans. Now on to a headline-making story. Sri Lanka Army and the police discovered a haul of weapons and ammunition buried in a garden in Kudaoya, Vallavaya. The operation was carried out based on a tip-off received.
Sri Lanka Army said it commenced the search at 11 last night and discovered 2 repeater rifles, 2 shotguns and a locally manufactured pistol. In addition, 592 shotgun slugs, 342 bullets compatible with a T-56 assault rifle, 75 bullets compatible with a M16 were discovered. Investigations revealed the land in question was leased in 2014 by a man identified as Muhammad Abdul.
Meanwhile, all government schools were reopened today for students of all grades for the second term. However, the attendance of the students were at a minimum level today. After postponing the reopening of schools on many occasions as a result of the April 21st attacks, the Ministry of Education decided to reopen schools last Monday to students from grade 6 and above. The attendance of students during the past few weeks stood at a minimal level, and the Educational Ministry informed that schools will reopen for students from grade 1 to 5 today. Our correspondent stated that the attendance of students were low in schools in many areas. He added that only 5 students were present at the primary section of Ananda College in Colombo.
There was only one child today, usually around 35 to 40 travel. I informed the father of this child to pick him up. Only 10 students were present at the Athidia Model Primary School, which has around 387 students studying in the school. Several schools in Colombo were in this state during the morning hours today. Less than 25 students were present at the Gautami Primary School in Gampaha with a student population of 2,200. Our correspondent said that not a single student was present at the Kirindivita Gamunu Primary School in Gampaha, Vijaya Mahavidyalaya in Bulugahagoda and several other schools. The attendance in schools out of Colombo were also low, with only 50 to 100 students. A ceremony to hand over appointments to sports training advisors will be held at the Temple Trees this afternoon. The event is to be held under the auspices of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. This is the manner in which those who are to be appointed arrived in Colombo by buses from various areas. Security in and around the Temple Trees was beefed up due to this. The police curfew, which was imposed in Chelau, Bingiria, Dumalasuria and Kuliapiti areas, were lifted this morning. Our correspondent stated that the situation in these areas have returned back to normalcy. He added that the Special Task Force and police and Sri Lanka Army are deployed in the areas to ensure security. Moving on, access to social media platforms in Sri Lanka, including Facebook, WhatsApp and Viber, were temporarily suspended as of this morning. The Government Information Department said this measure was taken to maintain the peace and to prevent the spread of false information. A tense situation arose in Chelau yesterday over a misleading comment made over social media. The person responsible was arrested. President Maithripala Sirisena left to China this morning. President's media division stated that President left to China to attend the Asian Dialogue Conference in Beijing. Several officials have joined the President on his official trip to China. Moving on, a program was held in the main Juma Mosque to create awareness about the current situation in the country. The high-ranking officers of Sri Lanka Army attended the program, which was organized by Masjid Federation of the Colombo district.
It is saddening that a terror attack of this nature was created within the Muslim community. The time has come to understand things. We discussed about our problems today. But what about the mentality of the parents and children who lost their loved ones in the attacks? That's what makes me sad. I'm ashamed to worry and care about them. My service for around 20 years will be in vain if I can't bring peace as a Muslim officer. We did a great service for freedom. Then we faced a 30-year war. Our soldiers and officers fought against it. But all of these efforts were raised when the Muslim extremists carried out the terror attack on the 21st of April. Sri Lanka is one nation. We all live in one society as brothers and sisters. So this relationship has deviated from us to a certain extent, and we would find a solution for it. We all have a responsibility towards this country. Although this was not from the Muslim religion, we could not stop this terror attack that's taking place, and that's what I regret.
In your news here at home, the skeletal remains of a female garment factory worker from Polonnaruwa, reported missing for more than a month, was discovered from a marshy land.
The father of 23-year-old Ayesha Kaushalya filed a complaint with the police, citing her disappearance since the 10th of April. Police said a married man from Polonnaruwa, believed to be the victim's lover, was arrested. Interrogation of the suspect revealed he had burned the victim alive, and authorities recovered the skeletal remains of the victim yesterday.
A dead body was discovered in a cinnamon land in Madhumagevata, Mathura. An individual who visited the land last evening had found bone fragments and informed the Mathura police. Meanwhile, a woman in Giyagaha, Mathura identified that the bone fragments belonged to her husband. The woman lodged a complaint that her husband is missing since the 8th of this month. The bone fragments of the deceased are sent to the Mathura hospital for further investigation. Meanwhile, a train which transports fuel in the Northern Railway line was derailed this morning. The railway control room stated that the train was travelling from Polonnaruwa to Anuradhapura. They further stated that the train is back on track and train operations have been restored. Farmers in Lahugala, Ampara are facing severe difficulties due to the half-way reconstruction activities done at the Hulang tank.
Farmers in Lahugala obtained water for agricultural purposes from the Hulang tank. The farmers said over 180 acres of land used for cultivation have been enriched by this tank since ancient times. A few months ago, the Agrarian Services Department took steps to begin reconstruction of the outflow gate in the tank while allocating 5 million rupees for the project. The farmers joined in clearing the tank as the officials promised to complete the reconstruction activities within 10 days. However, the officials have failed to fulfill the promise, shattering the hopes of the farmers. If they didn't empty the river, we have enough water. We won't face such difficulties. They said they will complete this in 10 days. Over 1,000 families depend on this river. We are really disappointed to say we expected that the reconstruction will be completed. Now we are helpless. We lost all hope. Now we have no way of earning food for our hunger.